Hey guys, it is Freshly Squeezed Gaming here, and today I'm going to be doing another countdown, and today I will be doing the top 15 grooviest Geometry Dash soundtracks, and these are my opinion, and I'll be selecting soundtracks from the original Geometry Dash and Meltdown, and the Geometry Dash World soundtracks will not be included. And remember, this is my opinion, so don't go hating on my music choices. So let's get right to the list. So number 15 is Deadlocked. This soundtrack is, I think it's overrated because this level is really good and hard, and but I still think it has a pretty good head-bopping beat and it is decent, and that is why Deadlocked is at number 15. So now let's get to number 14. So number 14 is Theory of Everything. Now this track kind of has the same situation I have with number 15, this level being overrated and the track being overrated, but I think this is it's a little bit better than Deadlocked. It just has a better beat in my opinion, so yeah, that's my thoughts on Theory of Everything. Now let's get to number 13. So, number 13 is Cycles. So right off the bat, it kind of is like a murky, little soothing, soundtrack, and then it gets to all this upbeatness, if that's even a word, and I just love how upbeat this track is and exciting, and it gives me inspiration like a lot of tracks in Geometry Dash, and I just overall love this soundtrack. Now there is some better versions of this soundtrack that sound really similar to it, and that is why it is so high on my list. So now let's get to number 12. So number 12 is Electroman Adventures. This track is like an old-fashioned video game. It takes me through an adventure of what a 90s game would be, and towards the end, it's like you're fighting the final boss, and I just love how unique this track is from all the others. None of the other tracks sound like this one in Geometry Dash, and that's why I love it so much. So now let's get to number 11. So, number 11 is Finger Dash. This is one of the newer Geometry Dash soundtracks and level, and this is a really weird at the beginning. It's this alien-like creature saying some gibberish I don't understand, and then it gets into some Shrillex stuff like a lot of the other soundtracks, and I just love how different this soundtrack is from the other Shrillex type soundtracks, and that's why I like this. So now let's get to number 10. So number 10 is Poltergeist or Geist. Now this soundtrack, I can't really describe what is happening. I just love what's happening. I love how old-fashioned, well, not old-fashioned in the Geometry Dash series. This is one of the first levels you play in Geometry Dash, and I just love how simple the soundtrack is. It's simple and sweet, and I just love how unique and different this is. And I can't really describe what is happening, what I'm hearing. I just love what I'm hearing. So now let's get to number 9. So number 9 is Blast Processing. This soundtrack is basically like I'm running through this factory being chased by like a demon-like voice, and the music is really intense, and it's like I'm running from a monster. And I just love that feeling, and I love the beats in this song, and I can't really describe it. It's something, again, really, it's far beyond unique and different. Like, I can't even describe it. It's just so amazing. I just love this soundtrack, and I can't really describe what's happening besides running through a factory chased by a demon. So now let's get to number 8. So number 8 is Time Machine. I absolutely love the atmosphere that this soundtrack creates. It creates like this intense, like alien-like atmosphere, and it gets more and more exciting as the soundtrack progresses, and then hits that breaking point and goes to the chorus. It just gets into that part, and it's just so exciting and inspiring, and I love this soundtrack. So now on to number 7. So number 7 is Clutterfunk. This track so reminds me of going through a clock and all the gears pumping, and like, it's basically like a factory. It's basically Blast Processing's brother, that the both sound so similar towards the middle, and it's like the beginning of Blast Processing. You start at Clutterfunk and then you go to Blast Processing, and I just love it. I just love it better than glass processing. There's probably just the clock-like atmosphere at the beginning is why I like it better. So now let's go on to number 6. So number 6 is Airborne Robots. This track is so intense, I just get pumped up whenever I listen to this track. It starts off at the beginning, it gets more and more intense, and then it gets breaks the chorus. Yeah, basically that part. And oh my god, it's so intense. And just look at me, just look. That's how I feel when I listen to this soundtrack, and I just love it. So, now on to number 5. So, number 5 is X-Step. This track brings back so much nostalgia of listening to it when I was a kid, struggling, failing on this level, and it also is really inspiring, especially the beginning. It's so inspiring, and then it hits that Skrillex beat. I think this is the best Skrillex beat in the game. Just this inspiring part and the Skrillex just mash up to become a really, really solid soundtrack. So, now let's get to number 4. Number 4, Bass After Bass. This gets me so hyped up when I listen to this. It's like a pep rally with all the drums, and I just want to bounce up and down whenever I hear this track. Just, you know what, just go listen to it. You can hear it right now in the background. It just gets me hyped up so much, and I just love the feeling and the atmosphere that this track creates. So, now let's get to number 3. So, number 3 is Viking Arena. This track, along with number 2, maybe a spoiler alert, and also Airborne Robots, are from Meltdown, because I think Meltdown, even though there's only 3 tracks in that game, I think that is a really, really solid game, even though it only has 3. Anyway, Viking Arena, and you thought Bass After Bass got me hyped up. Man, just listen to this track. It's like I'm at a football game, not just a pep rally. This was a football game. I'm getting all hyped up like a football. I'm at the Super Bowl. We're about to win the Super Bowl and all this stuff. It just gets me so hyped up and want to get out of my chair and start head beating my head. I just love this soundtrack. And so now on to the final 2 soundtracks, starting off with number 2. So we are at number 2, the 7 Seas. Man, I was millicentimeters close to putting this at number 1, but no, I decided to put another track at number 1, which I will get to in a minute. But man, oh my gosh, first thing that pops into my head when I think of this, Pirates of the Caribbean, and they're making a new movie. If this doesn't be in that movie, I'm gonna be so mad, because this is Pirates of the Caribbean all the way. Pirates, the ship, the swords clashing. Oh my gosh, I just love this atmosphere. It takes me on an adventure through the 7 seas in Pirates of the Caribbean. Oh, I just love it. This soundtrack gives me goosebumps. I just love it. It gets me all hyped up and head bopping my head. I just love this soundtrack so much. Again, I was so close to putting this at number 1, but now let's get to my honorable mentions before number 1. So, my honorable mentions are Back on Track, Can't Let Go, and Jumper. Now, I'm not going to have the tracks in the background, so you can go listen to those on your own. So, now let's get to number 1, the Grooviest Geometry Dash soundtrack. Man, number 1, Electrodynamics. Man, just the name gets me hyped up. I mean, just listen to this. It's like, forget the other soundtracks. Just listen to this. Oh my gosh. I'm not sure if you would count this as a Skrillex type. I wouldn't count it as a Skrillex type soundtrack because it's pretty close. Some may say that, but I don't think it is. I don't even know how to describe it. It's like I'm playing the best video game ever. I don't have any words to describe this. Just listen to it. I'll just give you a few seconds to listen. Just listen. Yeah, this soundtrack, in my opinion, is the grooviest Geometry Dash soundtrack. So yeah guys, that's it for today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed this countdown of the top 15 grooviest Geometry Dash soundtracks. Like, comment, subscribe. See you guys next time for more videos and more countdowns in the future. Bye.